Hey, what's going on, guys? Austin here from Dara Productions, and today we're going to talk about my new camera, which is the Gh5. Now, I just recently got this Gh5 from Panasonic, and I can't really explain over camera how happy I am to get this camera. How many times can I say camera? I'm super excited about this camera because it is something that I've dreamed about getting for a while and honestly did not expect that I'd be able to get it like this soon. But I got it and I'm super excited to share more content with you guys with this new Gh5. Now, this video is kind of first impressions, and I'd like to use it more to get a full-length review on it, but I have used it, and I used it for about a week before I ever got it. And the reason I used that was I was actually in New Orleans at Mardi Gras filming for a Bible college called H4n, and they're paying me to help film their outreach out there for their conference and for the actual outreach out in the streets. And so I actually was able to use a Gh5 to shoot everything that week. Literally about 400 gigs or so of footage I shot that week in New Orleans with this camera. When I was there are a lot of things that I honestly didn't realize how much I would really love until I got this camera. First thing that I'm super excited about and I absolutely love, as you've probably heard before, is the in-body stabilization. If you don't know what in-body stabilization is, or IBIS, then that is when the sensor is actually stabilized. And so it's kind of loose inside of the camera, and it moves and stabilizes when you're walking or when you're standing still with the camera. It honestly looks like the camera is on a tripod. Like, it doesn't look like I'm shooting handheld at all. I can sit there and hold it and it doesn't shake like at all. And I've got shaky hands. I'm not really the most steady person in the world when it comes to my hands. I'm just kind of shaky sometimes. And so the fact that I can hold that camera standing still and it just lock on, just no shake, nothing, that is honestly an amazing feature. Because I'm actually coming from a Canon T6i. Switching to this camera is a huge upgrade for me. And things like waveform, some of you might not know what waveform is, and some of you might not even use waveform, even if you know what it is, but waveform is one of the greatest things, honestly, I've ever used on a camera. It gives you a diagram where you can see from left to right what your image is exposed at in between 0 and 100. It is honestly an awesome feature. I'm experimenting on this with the 400 megabits a second, 4K video, 10-bit, 422. I love color grading and I love learning how to get better at my color, and that's a big thing that I want to get better at. And so let me know in the comments, what does the color look like to you? Does it look good? Does it look bad? Does it look better than my other videos? Let me know down below in the comments. Now, this camera has so many things that I could not even begin to touch the surface on in this video, but I will talk more about those things in the upcoming review. Like I said, IBIS, absolutely amazing. Slow motion at 180 frames a second in 1080 is really awesome. What's cool about variable frame rate is that I can change it to any frame rate I want. Meaning if 60 is maybe just not slow enough, but then 120 is just too slow, I can get like a 72, which is like a pretty cool little spot to be in. That's really cool. Or if maybe 60 is just slightly too slow and 30 is definitely not slow enough, you can get like 36, 48, somewhere in there. You can really manipulate it and really kind of change around frame rates, which is really cool, especially with me trying to get into shooting more music videos and stuff like that. Another great feature is the non-stop recording in the camera. Now, there are cinema cameras, but cinema cameras are significantly more expensive. This is a $2,000 camera, which I actually got used for $1,400. Like, my whole setup right here with the Metabone speed booster and the Gh5 is about probably right around $2,000 when I bought it. That is cheap for what you get out of this camera. Now, one of the downsides, yes, that a lot of people have talked about in this camera is the autofocus. I get it, the autofocus, especially with the Metabones, honestly, it's not even usable. I'm not gonna try to use it, it's not worth it to me. I can reach it right here, like I can actually reach the lens right here, and I can focus on it and pull fine-tuned focus with the Sigma 18-35, and it is honestly fine, like for what I gotta do. Like I don't need autofocus. Needless to say, first impressions, I love the Gh5 so far. I think it's great, and I'm gonna sit down and edit this footage, and we're gonna see if my computer can even begin to handle 4K footage. Now, if you're interested in stuff like this, whether that be tutorials or reviews or tips and tricks, and just kind of my journey along the way as I'm trying to build a filmmaking business, make sure to subscribe, like, and share with a friend who might be interested in maybe getting a Gh5. Just remember guys, never stop being creative, and I will see you in the next video.